Got you lot doing your greedy, innit? Like it's what you lot are on, innit? But let's get into this transfer news. Where should we start? Should we start from back to front? No, I don't want to do that actually. Where are we? Hey, where's the Pepe stuff? All right, let's just start from back to front. Fuck it. Start from back to front, lads. Arsenal transfer news: Hudson-Odoi shock move. It don't make sense for Hudson-Odoi to. Obviously, we have, he's got unlocked potential. Early 20s, London, can play wing back, can play left, can play right. Looks like he just needs a lot of confidence. Hudson-Odoi is talented, but for us, it don't make sense. Obviously, what he could be long term, fair play, but we've probably got too many project players out wide. Like, who's the finished article out of everyone that plays in the wide areas for us? No one really. If you're honest with yourself, no one's done it for years. For Hudson-Odoi, it makes sense to go somewhere you're going to play 20 plus Premier League games or top division games. Are you going to get that? And the majority of them 90 minutes at Arsenal. It's crowded at Chelsea, so you're going to be crowded at Arsenal. And he's going to be on healthy wages like he's on. So I would have him, but it don't really necessarily in the future what we're trying to do right now, really. And it don't make sense for you. You're better off going to Brighton, Palace, going abroad. Apparently Dortmund are onto you. In fact, I don't even know for the Dortmund one, but doing a thing like that. Patino's undergoing a scan. Obviously, unfortunately, rolled his ankle. Nottingham Forest are moving to sign Aouar. Apparently, Liverpool and Chelsea, as well as Arsenal, also looking at Yeremy Pino. Happy birthday, King Thierry Henry, once again. Invincible, top goal scorer, record breaker, history maker, 45 not out, and yeah, crazy. Oh, and then he's done an interview. That's great. Pepe's moving closer to an exit. We're going to circle back on all of this. I just thought that, Holdings allegedly got interest. I wouldn't begrudge him if he wanted to cut. Arsenal are I don't know for them, that channel, but Arsenal are interested in Chelsea youngster Callum Hudson-Odoi, according to reports. He's said to be open to leaving. He's contracted until 2024, so they have to have started something. Man United allegedly have joined Arsenal in the race to sign Caicedo. Telemans, 1 minute we're going for him, then we're prepared to let his contract run out. We'll truthfully never ever know. Big up James. He has said Arsenal have been planning to give Emil Smith-Rowe minutes in tomorrow night's under-21s game against Swansea's under-23s after a disrupted pre-season. As you know, we're playing in the Premier League Cup or something like that. So yeah, he'll get some minutes, and hopefully, apparently he wasn't in training yesterday. Hopefully that steps him up into good stead to play at the weekend, and so on and so forth, really. Because you want to see Smith-Rowe play well. He's a great player. He's one of our best players. He had a great season last year, got England cap, and with it being a World Cup, I don't think Smith-Rowe, even if he does all of that, would make the World Cup, because I just think Southgate would elect for more of the status quo. But the more Arsenal players that can get in the England squad, the better in it, really and truly, or just going to the World Cup full stop. So big up Smith-Rowe and anyone else who takes part. Obviously, Tomiyasu played 2 games ago against Man United's under-21, so hopefully Smith-Rowe can utilise that and get more fitness. This Sasha brother has said, my feeling is that Arsenal will wait the winter, which is probably January, trying to get Lucas Paqueta, who's the real priority for Edu Gaspar in midfield, as there's no real need at that position for the moment until people get injured. So Yuri is interesting for Arsenal, but not a priority. Congrats on your article, mate. That was in relation to Chris Davidson. So there could be a Paqueta move. Fabrizio Romano has said Edu and Mikel Arteta are still open to further signings, but are working on under the radar targets for the moment, people. As you know, in the contract of Bellerin, allegedly moving away from that again, courtesy of, I believe, the Chelsea Spot podcast. Apparently, Arsenal are one of the most likely clubs for Callum Hudson-Odoi. He has among 4 or 5 offers, and the player is pushing to leave permanently. At the moment, the favourite 2 clubs are Aston Villa and Arsenal. Probably makes sense to go to Villa a bit more, although if you talk to Carney, who's just left Aston Villa and gone to Arsenal, he might say something else, and it's completely different. But look at what it's done for young Ramsey and them sort of brothers there. At Arsenal, you probably would play. But you've got Pepe, who's probably better than you at this moment in time. What's going on there? Your brother Reece Nelson, who you're probably better than. What's going on there? They've just brought in Marquinhos, spooky Brazilian brother. What's going on there? Are you playing ahead of Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, this imaginary new winger, or Jesus or Eddie Nketiah, if one of them has to be shifted out wide for a new look front three, sorry. Fabio Vieira, as much as he can play left-sided 8, which I hope's him, and he said he prefers to play as the 10, he can play out wide. If we're going to do the Wenger thing where we're forcing playmakers, what are we going to do then? It don't really make sense. Maybe the Newcastle thing under Eddie Howe, where you're seeing what Joe Willock is doing. You know, he's got a tune out of Joe Linton in a centre mid position. It probably makes sense to go to these sort of clubs. Chelsea, I understand wanting to hold on to him, but his contract's running up, so we'll have to see. I'm taking Hudson-Odoi. He's mind them in that, but it's not making sense. It's not making sense. It's not making sense for him. And away from all the youngster thing and what you could be tomorrow, if Arsenal are trying to get top 4 today, he's never been given a chance like that. So I don't know. But at this moment in time, you put a gun to my head. Do you think Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to get 10 Premier League goals, 10 Premier League assists, or come with that as a minimum? No, if we're not bringing in someone that's going to kind of come with that, which I know he scored some pens, but Rafinha could have done. Or if we imaginary world, we got Yotta from Liverpool at Wolves before he went there, for whatever you say, then cool. But this ain't really making sense to me, people. So you lot are going to have to draw your own conclusions with that one. 234 likes. Can we keep running that up, people, and try and get to 300, basically? So, yeah, man, that's that. Obviously, Aston Villa's new signing, Diego Carlos, suffered a mad injury. They've been linked with Rob Holding, people, who you want to, you know, if I was him, I wouldn't necessarily want to leave Arsenal. I think there's a good project. I think you're a favoured member. You're someone that's seen as a bit of a leader, but games. There's nothing, there must be nothing like playing Premier League football, much less starting. And you can, it's not Arsenal, but you could go get that, regardless of what Arsenal are doing. You've never really had that. You've had moments where you've played your way into the Arsenal team and you've done your little purple patch thing under Wenger, the famous, I'm sorry, only cost 2 million. Rob Holding really looked good in, you know, obviously if he left tomorrow, we'd all remember him, Monreal and Mertesacker pocketing Diego Costa. Diego Costa, is it Douglas Costa? Diego Costa. And obviously, I remember that, you know, I think he could have got an England cap if he never got injured at Old Trafford when he obviously got injured, but he's never going to be there. Arsenal could have very well bring in another centre-half. You've got, you know, obviously the three boys in Ben White, who's playing right back at the moment, Gabriel and Saliba. It doesn't make sense. Arsenal might say, you know what, 2 million profit, that's that. So if I was him, there could be that. Arsenal, I wouldn't sanction it. We're light at centre-half. You know, if Marie was actually half decent, we might not, but we're light. I don't think Holding plays too much football, but if something happens, I need that option, really and truly. So I wouldn't do it, really. And the chance to play under Steven Gerrard could be lit. But yeah, he's been linked with Aston Villa, people. The 26-year-old, he made 21 appearances. And remember, Arteta said you would play a lot of football. He wanted to leave one of the very first seasons Arteta managed, really. You know, really. So we'll have to see. He's on the wish list. So we're going to have to see. And obviously, his broski Callum Chambers there. So that could be a new roommate. We'd have to see, but I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, you see in Pepe's agent's activities. Pepe's new agent is following Nice on Instagram. Arsenal fans are crazy, man. Obviously, his agent was present at a meeting in Nice and Strasbourg last Sunday. You know, and Pepe's been linked with a move away, people. And it's, you know, for Arsenal, at least you pick up a loan fee and recoup some of it, and they probably take some of his wages. For him, he might put himself into the shop window, and clubs might say, you know what, we'll take a chance on him with a year left on his deal next year. Obviously, the fairy tale would be, looks lit, he comes back to Arsenal and he keeps doing his thing. But like Hudson-Odoi, he's contracted until 2024. Martinelli, Saliba, Saka, for example, all the same length of time. There's talk around them. Xhaka the same length of time. There's probably an option of another deal, but things will go down. There's been little to nothing for Pepe. Pepe's had great moments at Arsenal. There's been periods of great brilliance, but generally it's not been that, really. There's not been significant improvement. It's not all his fault, but it is what it is. He could be going to Nice on loan, people. Apparently led by Dave Brailsford, the sports management wants to strike a blow, and it is now thanks to Arsenal that she hopes to achieve it. Indeed, according to our information, Nice wants to recover Pepe in the form of a loan. The Ivorian now plays with the Gunners, who prefer Bukayo Saka. Nice need a hard-hitting wing. Obviously, he's been there before. Not used since the resumption of the Premier League. Pepe seems destined for a substitute role 3 years after being sold to Arsenal for a sum of 80 million euros. His agent is listening to potential offers, and that of Nice caught his attention. An appointment to Liga, which could be good, man. You don't look like you're going to get much football. And you know the league, which is good for you, really. And it's good for Arsenal fans. As you can see, Pepe's Arsenal nightmare nearing. I wouldn't say it's a nightmare. He's won an FA. He's played for a massive club in England. He's lived the London lifestyle. He's probably made a lot of good friends. You know, he's won an FA Cup. I don't know what nightmare. Underwhelming, yes, but I don't know for nightmare. But Tom Victor's got to be a bit of a plonker and whatever. You know, I wouldn't quite say that. He's made a lot of money as well. So I wouldn't know with that. But yeah, his agent's been pictured at Nice's Stadium on Sunday. And obviously they've met up with the coach and stuff. Apparently this is one thing that can happen. He made just 20 appearances last year. Crazy. So we'd have to see really and truly what exactly happens, really. But he deserves to be happy, man. Nice are targeting Nicolas Pepe. As you can see here, initial talks have taken place with the former Lille man's agent, who is open to offers given that his client appears set for a bench role in North London this season. The Nice management, led by Dave Brailsford, are said to want to bring in a marquee forward signing. Edison Cavani has also been linked, and Pepe has yet to appear for Arsenal this campaign. 1 minute it's Sevilla, then it's Palace, then it's PSG, now it's Nice. Hopefully he gets that move on, people. It is what it is. So let's see what happens there. Obviously, if you're with the Pedro Neto hype, obviously 2 years ago in January, he said, when I was a kid, my favourite team in England was Arsenal. With Arsene Wenger beside winning trophies, I thought they played really good. Consistently, and apparently he's drawn interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, and among others. People, apparently it could be one to watch towards the end of the summer, according to Fabrizio Romano. And obviously, Wolves look like they're getting Matheus Nunes. There's been a lot written about Pedro Neto's future at Wolves, including links with big names like Arsenal and Chelsea. My understanding, however, is that so far the situation around Pedro Neto is still quiet. There are no advanced negotiations. Wolves are evaluating Pedro's future in the coming days. It's not an advanced deal yet, but it could be an interesting one in the final days, people. So we'll have to see, man. And we've been linked with him before. It's long. 90-minute football. I'm not sure if they're the most creditable outlet to believe people, which I'm sure a lot of you are probably saying, of course they're not deluded. What are you talking about? Respectfully to Graham Bailey, you know, hopefully you're not acting up. But apparently Neto is attracting interest late in the window after a number of clubs were alerted to his potential availability. 90-minute has been told that middlemen basically have been making it known to a number of clubs that Neto could very well be available at the right price. Neto is a player who has gathered and generated interest from a number of Premier League's biggest clubs during his time at Molineux. He's very much on the radar of a number of clubs. 90-minute has been told that Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United have been made aware that Neto could be available. And obviously, if Chelsea get rid of Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi goals, they have brought in Sterling, I could understand it. But if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd say right now we probably need a number 9. Man United, they've been linked with Gakpo, Anthony. It makes sense why they're linked with Neto. Arsenal, we need a winger as well. We've been here with Rafinha, etc., etc. I think all of these clubs have a degree of interest. Everybody's interested in everyone. Whether that interest correlates to bidding and things, I don't know. Is Pedro Neto's advisors trying to get him a deal? Does Wolves want to get rid of him? There's many different ways of looking at it, really and truly. So, truthfully, I don't know, people. This kind of just confirms that Nice are working to try and get Pepe to their place, people, really. And apparently Arsenal are not against the loan and he's not against the loan. So everyone's on the right page. Liverpool have been thrown into the hat with Manchester United, West Ham, etc., with targeting Moses Caicedo of, the Ecuadorian international, who's obviously playing for Brighton and doing quite well and getting the 20-year-old's getting a massive reputation. I don't think Brighton will get rid of him, but it makes sense. All those 3 clubs have issues around midfield. Liverpool's centre mids can't stay fit, and on the best of the days, they probably need to bring in some extravagant talents. They've been linked with Tuchemane. It didn't bang. Jude Bellingham hasn't banged. So, and obviously, I'm not saying him to that level. Man United's midfield's a joke. Arsenal's midfield is probably better than Man United's at this moment, but isn't the be-all and end-all. And there's question marks over everyone, really. Xhaka started well, but is he good enough necessarily? Is Partey actually good enough to stay fit enough? Lokonga, are we going to see progress? El Nene, what's going on there? So it makes sense. And, Moses, we've got Jesus, we've got Mohammed. The biblical figures are there. You might as well just sign Tammy Abraham for the sake of it, really. It could be a madness, but I don't really buy this, people. Obviously, everybody should be looking at him. Same way everyone was probably looking at Basuma, 20-year-old. Everyone knows Brighton signed lit guys. United tried to buy him last year when Brighton did. So obviously, they're going to scout. Everybody's looking at everyone, really. How many players do you think we're away from winning a Premier League title? I don't know, man. Mentality means everything. But I would say if you just looked at positions, I think a centre half, that's for the squad. I think a winger. I think maybe a backup striker. And I think a centre mid or 2 or 3. I would, if it was up to me, I'd revamp the whole midfield. Respectfully, I like El Nene, but he probably wouldn't be here. Lokonga, you'd get minutes, but I'd probably look at Bates. But it's easy for me to sit here and say that, really. So yeah, it is what it is where Arsenal are concerned. Let's see what this is saying, really. If this circling back, obviously Jeremy Pino, them ones there seem to have gone down. Una Emery said if an offer's placed and it's acceptable, it is what it is. Telemans, we don't know what's going on. 1 minute we're moving through, and 1 minute it's next season thing. We'll never know until the end of the window. Pedro Neto, we have just discussed, people. Spinning the block for more Arsenal news. Fuck is that, lad? We'll be a tease upset with Arsenal over Bellerin demands. We're upset with you lot peeing about. As much as I think we should, from a human point of view, give Bellerin his move, it's a business, bro. Forget all of that. You wouldn't, if the shoe was on the other foot, you're not going to cut us anything. Of course you should. Pay a small loan and we'll do whatever. Apparently Arsenal's insistence on a fee for Bellerin has frustrated Betis. We probably have to cut off our nose to spite our face, really, because I mean, we probably have to, we'll be cutting off our nose to spite our face. We have to let him go. Bellerin has an option of another year. He's not even the third choice level right back, and he's on 100 grand. If worst case scenario, if you have someone hanging around on 100 grand, if you've got Pepe not being moved on or someone not undertaking some of the L, yeah, we might have cleaned up with Aubameyang's wages and several others, but we're getting in the same territory, really and truly. So it is what it is. I think Bellerin will get his wish, but yeah, man. Obviously, all or nothing's coming out, and I'm gonna have to. We'll be watching it at some point tomorrow, people. So that will be on Twitch. Keep an eye out for that. I'll alert you. But more sound bites are coming out. Shut your mouth and eat it. It's effing embarrassing. Apparently, Mikel Arteta went mad after the Newcastle bottling, as you should. Allegedly, Tierney was injured in the shower, as you can see here, people. We're gonna have to see what's going on there with him. So yeah, man, there'll be some copying Mikel Arteta's wacky methods by watching all or nothing, and how an old boss took his squad to play foot golf instead of training. You've got to do random ish like that. Arteta, and obviously being coached by Arsene Wenger and people like that, and even David Moyes. You lot can laugh at David Moyes. There's a wealth of experience you could learn from that man. But in relation to learning the finer details and stuff, we'll share respectfully. I don't really care that much. But yeah, man, that brings an end to any transfer news to my knowledge, people. So yeah, keep your opinions coming. Let me see what you lot are saying. That was a bit of a long read, weren't it, folks? So yeah, man, don't appear that there's anything new in relation to Arsenal seeking players.